All right, my friends, this is where you call
write
us
it
at
down.
833-390-KRBE, and you tell us about how you persevered. You accomplished
You
something people
overcame
thought
the
you could
odds.
not
Yeah.
accomplish. We're starting right out of the box with MJ. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, MJ,
Happy Monday.
what's your story about Look at Me Now?
Okay, so I'm an executive assistant. I have been for about 13 years, and my last job I left 5 months ago. I was there 5 years, and there are, you know how ladies can be. They can be kind of bullies and, kind of put you down because they're insecure. So there are a lot of ladies there at my last job that constantly demeaned me and made me feel small. And they said, you only do birthday cards and birthday parties. You only do fun stuff. You don't do anything important.
Whoa.
And
That's
so, anyway,
Terrible.
Somebody straight to your face said that? Oh, you don't do anything important,
That
MJ.
is an insecure person. So
What in the heck?
Sorry.
yeah.
when did you just say I've
all
had
the
enough?
time. When I left and didn't tell them,
You
I
just didn't show
found
up.
another job.
Uh-huh.
No, well, I told them like a day or two before, but basically like, bye, see ya.
Yeah, right.
But the great part is I increased my salary by over 50%, and I'm right under 100K now as an executive assistant, and they're still making a lot less money than I am. So I just wanted to kind of get that in their faces.
Well done.
Wow, that is really amazing.
And they're probably still like, she just left.
Thank you.
I told you. She just
can't
left
believe
us.
her.
It's like,
I can't believe her.
They left. She left. Didn't give you the 2 weeks because you didn't give her any respect. Anyway.
Wow, look
Yeah,
at you.
if she wasn't that big of a
I'm
deal, why
glad
does it
that
matter if
you
she
made
left
that
anyways?
move.
Exactly. Good for you,
Yes,
MJ.
MJ!
And I bet you have a better office environment,
Thank you.
better for your mental health, better for everything. So that's great.
I know they always say, like,
Absolutely.
don't they say that, like, guys, women get worried about men hitting on them and stuff? I'm like, but women are just as mean
Oh, yeah.
to
The
other
snark,
women.
the gossiping.
Man, what's the point of telling
tough.
her your job's not that important? Is it because they felt threatened by her that she was good and she might
Everyone wants to put
rise
people
above
down
them? Yeah,
because they want to.
for
And
sure.
it's so
Put
easy to
themselves
be
up.
nice. I mean, it takes so little effort just to be kind.
And a lot of people don't think that way. MJ, thanks for calling. We appreciate you making us part of your morning. We're moving on to Brenda at 833-390-KRBE. It's called Look at Me Now. You're going to tell us how you were told you can't do something or you'll never amount to anything, and then you overcame that. Hi, Brenda. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys. How are
Morning.
you?
Awesome for a Monday, I guess.
Yeah, for Monday. Brenda, is this about
Yeah.
you or somebody in your life?
This is about my girls. We started a soccer team because the team that they were on, the club that they were in, didn't give them the support they needed. So us, myself, my sister, and another mom started our own soccer club. Initially, it was just for our girls, to give them the support, give them everything they hadn't gotten from the other soccer club.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, we're doing great. My girls are doing really well. Everyone said we were going to suck. They
Oh,
don't.
that's terrible.
That's really terrible. It's weird to say, oh, yeah, you guys are leaving our soccer club. You're going to suck.
But you guys
Yeah.
are winning or what? Or,
Oh yeah. We're making some very, very impressive plays out there. So my girls are doing well.
like, how many girls are there?
And
And now, so you got a bunch of girls.
currently, I believe we're at 20.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
Okay, yeah,
And
so
we-
that's a full team.
And that's
Yeah.
almost a full-time job
Yeah.
running that soccer club.
What was it that the other team did that made you guys discouraged? I'm just curious.
From the start, the girls weren't getting support out on the field, meaning they needed equipment. We had to come up with our own ways to get our own equipment. They were constantly moving our coaches around and not letting them have the support that they needed. So, and they were just so mean to them. They would talk so much mess about our girls, and it wasn't fair. These are teenage girls, preteens, and they're in a very sensitive stage. So you don't do that to anyone.
Do better, people. But I'm happy
Yeah.
for you guys.
Yeah, that's like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
You know
it
how they
is.
start their own league.
Yeah, like a Mighty Ducks
And
type
we-
thing.
Yeah, and we just added our littles to it, which they've been doing amazing. I think they already have like about 4 championships.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. And so we're doing pretty great. We're getting there.
What's the name of your team?
It is called Houston Comet Soccer Club. And my babies are getting out there.
Houston Comet Soccer Club. Now, is it open to anybody? If somebody is listening and they go, oh, I need to join the soccer club. My kids are looking for a club.
Yes, ma'am.
How do they find you?
We're open to anyone. And we're on Instagram, Houston _Comet SC. And
okay.
we're open to anyone and everyone who wants to. For recreational or competition, we're open for it.
Listen, I give you props, Brenda, because like I said, that's a lot of work as an adult to be in charge of that, because that is really some dedication. So bravo to you, Brenda.
Now, not everybody can speak live. During the commercial break when we are asking for Look at Me Now, somebody called in with their story, and I think it's a pretty positive one.
Hey, Rula and Ryan. I wanted to share my story. When I was 2 years old, my dad killed my mother. I lived a pretty rough life of drugs and alcohol. I dropped out of school after the 8th grade. I was a single parent. I lived place to place to place. And then in the last 6 years, I graduated college. I bought my own home. I started my own business, and I'm living and thriving a great life. I also recently got married. No matter what you're going through, it's not going to be there forever. So don't give up. You're not always going to be broken. Your life and things will change. So keep on thriving and keep on working.
Oh, wow.
I want to know more about how she overcame all the other horrible stuff.
That was a lot to overcome.
No kidding. I would love
Her
her
mom
to
was
tell us
murdered
how she got
by her dad.
Yes,
That-
at
that's
2 years
insane.
old.
And then the
Thank God
drugs.
she was 2. Like,
Yeah,
Drop
because
down
you
to
don't
eight.
remember that.
Well, some part of it, I think if it's a traumatic enough, it comes back to you and regret.
well, if people tell you the story, then you
memories or
think you
something.
know it.
Yes.
Like,
So crazy.
you don't want to know that story.
That's really unbelievable. If y'all want to leave a message for us on the listener line, 713-278-VENT. That's 8368 on your phone. If you want to share stories of Look at Me Now, have you overcame some kind of adversity and you are thriving now. Coming up next, we have a Rule and Ryan's Roses update about the double life guy.
Oh,
Boston,
wow.
Houston, Boston, 2 families. Kids in both cities. Craziness. We'll get you a recap from Roses last week, and then we'll get the update next on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
Now, time for a Roses update.
Hope you guys are ready for this.
On the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
Okay, roll it. 104.1 KRBE.
Parental discretion is definitely advised on this one.
You know, it's just adult-themed topics because it's about real relationships that are basically holding on by a thread and they just fall apart or explode based on what your gut instinct thinks is going to happen.
The gut is always right.
It
like
is.
99% of the time, the gut is right.
Liz reached out to us about her man, Garret, her husband, Garret, who has to travel to Boston quite a bit. She found out he has 2 phones, and one of them, he said, was for his job. But things weren't adding up from what Garret was telling her, and that's why she came to us. They have a toddler at home, and she just really wanted to get some real answers of what's going on with Garret. Now, if you missed what happened last Thursday, we have Liz standing by on the line. I'm talking to Garret. I'm explaining to him why he's getting this giant bouquet of very expensive red roses. And where do you want to send them? If you missed that, here's what Garret said.
Send them to my wife, Mary. Sorry, babe, it won't be like this forever.
Who the is Mary? Garret, who is Mary?
What?
This is Liz. This is the one with the 14-month-old baby at home, the one that found your second phone, and you lied to my face about it. What's going on?
I'm not, actually married to Mary. She's just, a common law kind of situation.
Bigotry, that's where you draw the line. You have a second family in Boston, and we have a child at home here. Are you kidding me?
Well, hang on a second, Liz. Do you have a family? Do you have children with this other woman?
I mean, she's pregnant.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I'm the one legally married to you so that I can legally divorce you and take half of everything, including that precious car of yours.
I was not expecting this today.
Can you just be honest? Tell us the truth. Tell us everything. Everything's out there now.
Well, he
Liz,
did. He told us she's knocked up
but
in some other city.
is it in Boston?
Yeah.
How long have you been together then?
About a year.
About a year.
So I have a baby, and you go shack up with some chick. Are you kidding me?
Garret, when's the baby due?
6 months.
You're over there having a second life with this Mary while I'm over here trying to take care of your child. Are you kidding me? Have some decency. Nothing? You got nothing to say?
It's one of those, it wasn't me, or I'm just going to say nothing.
Yeah. Is
Because
he
there's
like
nothing
this
to
at
say.
home? You said he got all lit up and was screaming at you. He doesn't sound like he's the type that has any kind of emotion.
I honestly have no idea who I'm talking to right now. This is real.
He's probably shocked, but in a way, you probably should be relieved because I know you can't just have a baby. You'd have to tell. You have to come clean someday.
Yeah, the double life is
Or
over.
did you have a plan to come clean? Or did you just going to keep doing this for the rest of your life?
I definitely didn't have a plan.
Clearly.
All right, well.
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Liz.
I think you need to take this off the air, Liz. Maybe you can get something out of him.
Well, if anyone has a really great divorce attorney, I love their information.
I'm sure we can hook you up.
That's quite an awkward response to all the things we just learned. He
It's
has
so
like
cliche.
zero emotion.
Is he always like that? He's so stiff.
No, and that's the thing that's so strange. It's like, yeah, he's not the life of the party, but oh my gosh, like, how do you not say anything?
Liz, I bet he's going to say something like, you spent more time with our child, and I just feel neglected.
Oh,
Like,
God, one of those.
like he
Jealous
didn't get his
baby.
attention, so he had to find that attention somewhere else with another woman.
Well, he said he's been with her for a year.
Well, guess what? What do I always say, guys? You go with the mistress, you just vacated the mistress spot. So he has a baby with Liz, and what? Maybe he's jealous because Liz is paying too much attention to their
That's
child.
what he'll say.
Okay, now Mary's having his kid. So, okay, well, Mary's going to pay too much attention to that child, so he'll find somebody else.
It's like a Ponzi scheme for sex.
Stupid.
He's going to be the new Nick Cannon and have a kid every, year with a new chick? I don't think so.
Is he supposed to come home this weekend?
He's not coming to my house.
Yeah, you definitely need to make a call to a lawyer immediately.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm dying to find out, did he come back to the house over the weekend?
Well, we are happy that Liz is available to tell us all about what happened after that phone call. She is standing by to give us an update right now, so let's welcome her. Good morning, Liz.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
That was a hell of a lot to digest. You learned that your husband's got a second wife, a second family.
And you're supposed to come back
Well,
last
don't
weekend.
forget, guys, common law.
Common law. That's okay then, Rolla.
That makes it better.
But
Yeah,
she's got a
guys.
baby on the way, and he sounded like such a stiff.
Did he come back or did he stay in Boston?
No, he did try to come back. I mean, I didn't let him in the house. I had a locksmith out that afternoon. My mom and I actually packed up all of his stuff and had it sitting on the porch. We did a pretty good job of it.
You don't mess around.
It's amazing what rage will help you do.
It's interesting
Rage
how some
purging.
people go into rage, some people go into hurt. Like their first initial reaction is just unbelievable pain, but you're going straight for rage.
Where are you at now?
Rage. It's so much more productive. No, I'm still in rage. Absolutely. I called several high-end divorce attorneys so that I could create conflicts and make sure that I get everything that I'm entitled to from this.
Let me ask you
That's
this
a good
question.
idea. Really, you know this what she's talking about?
Yes, I've heard the
Like,
strategy on roses many times.
Yeah.
Whatever attorney you call, then your mate can't call that attorney because they're
Sometimes you have to pay him,
compromised.
though.
takes him
Oh, you
out of the
do?
game, yeah.
It's worth every penny of these things.
It would make me want to go through my credit card statements to see how exactly is he supporting this second life.
Oh, I'm sure he has his own credit cards. Because he's gone half the time, I'm the one who pays the bills. I'm the one who handles everything around here. I'm basically a single mom in a marriage as it is. I'm going to rock this single life. And listen, I don't know why he thought he needed to get a side chick because I'm pretty banging. I'm keeping it tight. I look awesome, and I'm fun. Go over there with your two-bit Mary. I'm going to live here with all of the things that you love most and live my best life.
I'm proud of you for having that kind of strength, that kind of courage. I would say to you that once you get that lawyer, they will do what is called a financial audit. You'll be able to find out what he's been spending.
Oh, he better not be spending my money on his new baby.
They're going to be siblings for the rest of their life.
He's making over
Yeah.
there.
That's the thing. Unfortunately, I will have to deal with him forever, and I am going to have to, at some stage, probably meet this Mary, because we do have children who share a father. But right now, I'm just really content to ruin his life in every way I can.
Wow, the rage is strong still. I feel the rage is strong.
You sound like a Jedi master. The rage is strong in this one.
Anakin.
The rage
It's
is
a
strong.
righteous rage, though. It's righteous.
You got every right to be mad.
You can't do this. This is stuff for the movies, not real life.
Yep,
Right.
it's gross.
And unfortunately, it turned into your real life. So,
Yeah.
look, it's excellent that you have a great support system. You are doing what you need to do to get yourself through it. But whatever the next phase of emotion is going to be, I want you to be ready for it because you are still saying goodbye to a
Do you
life
think-
that you had with him.
If he just say he had an affair, like he just had a one-night stand in Boston, got that girl pregnant, could you Like try and look past that one?
No, not when he travels and he's gone 50% of the time. There's no trust. I couldn't. But this is an active choice and no remorse. My gosh, he couldn't say a single word on the phone.
How was he when you talked to him, though? Did he at least come to life?
No, he did tell me he was embarrassed and he didn't want us to air our dirty laundry on radio. That should be your top concern right now. But no, he didn't fight. It was just one of those, well, it happened. And so, like, I understand whatever you think you need to do. Like, I'm the one leaving this marriage. Like, he didn't make all of these choices. Somehow I'm leaving him.
That's what they do.
Dude, you left me as soon as you shacked up.
They turn it around.
Yeah, like I'm the bad guy.
It doesn't sound like he's going to break it down and be like, just trust me again. I want to be with you. You sound like you're pretty set in your ways, and that's good. You've got your head on straight. But there is a roller coaster to the emotion, and at some point, the sadness is going to set in because you did marry him for life, and you wanted to have, a family with him and a life with him, and here he totally screwed it up.
Someone shows you who they are, you got to believe them. So I'm out.
Good for
All right,
you.
honey, take care. Thanks so much for checking in with us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Liz. It
Man.
is. It's such a shock to the system, and you think you've got this wonderful life, and then all of a sudden...
Well, look at how many people called us and said about in their families, all the multiple relationships that were happening at the same time nobody knew about. It was craziness.
Because we did that topic on Friday. We brought it back because we didn't have time. I made so many listener lines.
Do you want to hear a few?
Do you have some more? Yeah, because I saw so many that day.
Did I play a listener line on Friday?
I don't think so.
I don't think
we went
so.
straight into calls.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one of them.
I just heard Rose's this morning. I had a boyfriend. We were basically common law married. He basically took in my kids like his own kids, went to their school functions, spent Christmas Day with me and all my children. I knew of his wife that he claimed was his ex-wife. I stayed at his house. It did not look like he had a wife. It looked like his daughter stayed there, which he claimed. But I met his grown children and his grandchildren. Like, how do you do that when you're still married? And I found out that they were still married when she called me on the phone and told me that they were still very much married. He claimed that it was my fault for answering the phone and, of course, tried to blame me and told me how crazy I was. And this is one of my favorites. After things went down and I broke up with him and I told my kids why, he called me probably 75 times. And I told him that I told my kids, and he had the audacity to say that now for sure it will never work. We could never be together because of what I told my kids.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Gosh, turned around on
It's
her.
the turnaround that's the
Are
worst.
you crazy?
Turn around.
You're in the
my
worst
Lord.
place in your life and you're heartbroken, and then they turn it around trying to make you feel like you're the crazy one.
Have you seen the show Running Point? Running Point?
With Kate Hudson?
Yeah, it just
I've not
came
seen
out.
it.
So good.
I want to.
There's a scene where there's a guy, he's divorced, and he is instead of like the kids going to his house for half the time, the parents leave the house. They switch houses. They share the same house. So like,
wow,
like.
So the kids never have to leave
The
their
kids always
environment.
keep the same environment,
The
and the
parent has to
parents
come.
take turns living in that house.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I'm like, is that
So
a
who
thing? Or
owns
is
the
that
house
interesting
then?
Or is that just
concept.
an LA thing? Like, you
So
know what
who
I mean?
owns the house?
Well, it's not
Or is that just a
normal
fictional
America.
thing for this show?
That's what I'm saying. Is it like a TV thing? Is that a real thing where the kids? Because I know, Ryan, you said you tried to.
We tried to
replicate-
co-parent.
You built the same room.
Yeah.
Same toys.
When I
same-
first separated from my ex-wife, I literally went out and bought all the exact same stuff. So I made because my daughter was 11 at the time. So I made her bedroom a duplicate of the bedroom that she had with her mother. I wanted to try and like make it as familiar
that was
as
a mistake,
possible.
or was that right?
I think it was all a mistake. You know, you do the best you can when you're in this situation. And, for me, it was always kids come first. Child number one.
I just think it's weird though. How are you supposed to do that? Like, because in this one, the mom had a boyfriend. So like this guy you're gonna share. They're gonna be in that bedroom, or they're rich. These people were rich, so they probably maybe had their own bedrooms, and you could lock it. I guess I don't know, but that sounds like
that's weird.
It sounds like you can never just move on.
Maybe you're living in an unconventional situation, because I know over the years even TV news has covered this. People who couldn't afford to get divorced and they were forced to still live together, and they're just living in separate bedrooms in the house. Or maybe some people are like, well, we don't get along in a relationship romantically, but we're smart about our finances and we need to just keep this the way it is. We'll just live in the same house as long as we can handle it. Always the catalyst is when somebody meets somebody new. Then the whole thing blows up.
Yeah.
So maybe you
That
can
is a
call
game
our
changer.
listener line and tell us about that at 713-278-VENT, how untraditionally you tried to make it work and it just didn't work because so many people called in about their extra lives.
Someone said, it's real, Eric. I have friends that have done that.
Oh, wow.
So
How?
I'd love to know if it's a Blackhawks fan, so they must be from Chicago. That's what I put the title
That's
there.
what they're like
I
with us,
forgot their
yeah.
first name.
Okay.
Somebody said, I believe it's called bird nesting. It's common here in Houston, too. We're hearing a lot of text saying it's a real thing.
What?
If there's anybody
Bird
out there
nesting.
that is doing that, I'd love to talk to you, just to interview you for
Bird
5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not
Divorced
knocking
couple.
it. I just don't
Yeah, how that works.
understand it. I don't
Because
think
one
it-
person says, I know a divorced couple who's been sharing a house for years, too. It works fine. The kids like it.
But are they sharing it where one leaves and then one comes back?
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
That's
Sounds
very
like it.
different.
Bird
Google bird
nesting.
nesting divorce. There's like all these articles.
Where does the other one go? Do they stay at their parents' house? Do they have an apartment? Because
Oh, yeah.
seems expensive too.
I would think that, look, I'm not going to knock it. Anybody
works.
who's just really thinking about, hey, I want to do what's best for my child, that's not a bad thing.
Look at this texter. I'm a family attorney in Houston, and a few of my clients do the switch houses thing so the kids don't have to move around so much.
I just
Another
feel-
person said,
because
pretty
their
sure my
lives-
neighbors are doing this.
The children's
Oh
lives
my
have been turned
gosh.
upside down, and you want to have some sense of stability.
But how do the
for
parents
them.
move on, Ryan?
Yeah.
Like I feel like
Yeah.
they'd be snooping. Like one time,
Also, are you
my
paying for
ex-wife
3
made me.
houses?
I had to go to her man, the guy that she left me, or you
Yeah.
know, whatever
Right.
happened. I had to go spend the night at their house. They were on a cruise,
Okay.
and I went to their house and spent the night there
To be with
for
your son.
Ethan.
So it's probably
that-
difficult for you.
I slept on the couch. It was just weird.
Now, why did you sleep
Right.
there and not bring Ethan to your apartment?
Well, I lived here.
Oh, okay.
This is right when we first started.
Okay, so
in
yeah,
2003.
you didn't bring him here.
I had no money. I couldn't. They're like, hey, you can go to our place instead of spending $100.
Right.
How weird
which-
was that to be in their house?
It was weird. Of course, I snooped.
And what'd you
Where
find?
did you snoop?
Well, that's what it was. I
In
went
their
through
closet?
in their closet. I found photos of them on a cruise. Because she told me one time she couldn't take Ethan once because they went on one of those like 3 or 4 day cruises out of Galveston.
So they had an
That's
affair.
what it was.
They had an affair on a cruise ship before.
Well, I mean, they obviously I looked at the date and we were
Yeah.
together then. I'm like, we were living together. She said she was on business in Canada.
Yep.
They went to Galveston. So see, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem healthy to be in the same house.
No,
'cause they'd be
Listen to this
snooping.
one. Listen, a nanny has
Hell no.
texted in, I have nannied for a family like that. They lived in the same house. They were divorced, and the ex-husband's new girlfriend also was living in there.
Ooh.
It was a 4-bedroom house. So they shared the house so the kids didn't move around.
Call the listener line. I'd love to hear more about it.
We could bring this
we
back
learned something
sometime.
new.
Because if you think about it, you probably buy 3 houses. The
Yeah,
kids
but
stay
who's
in
got the
this
money
house,
for that?
right? And then this person goes back to their
Or like
house.
2 apartments in a house?
I don't know.
There was
You
that
split the
show
mortgage?
called
That's wild.
Big Love with what was his name? He
That was not
passed away.
polygamy,
Bill
though.
Pullman or
Bill
no?
Pullman,
Or the other
Bill
guy?
Paxton.
Paxton, maybe.
Yeah,
Bill
but he
Paxton
had
and
like
his
no.
sister
I'm just
wives.
saying it was like that. He had a house.
3 houses
It was a
lined up.
compound.
And he'd go like from house
The
to
sister
house
wives
to
in the
house.
compound. So he'd go from one house to the next. But that's like a...
I don't know how anybody can do that.
That's a whole
one
other thing. That's
relationship
sister
is
wives.
Yeah,
exhausting.
that's the
You gotta
sister
be
wives.
rich.
Yeah, he's got 5 wives. What's that
Mhm.
guy's name? That's so weird.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
right.
guys, go to the listener line at 713-278-VENT if you want to share your stories of that. Coming up next in Celebrity Scoop, the big snubs last night for the ones that have passed away that some people are not okay with. And they promoted a show last night during the Oscars that starred one of the people that was in the In Memoriam. Did y'all catch that?
Mm-mm. I didn't see that one.
This person has passed away, but they were promoting it heavily, how awesome this new show is going to be. I'm like, wait a second. Nobody's talking about this person died?
Huh.
All right, we'll talk about that. Scoop's coming up next on The Real and Ryan Show with Eric. We're going to do a Celebrity Scoop brought to you by Taqueria Sarandas here on The Real and Ryan Show with Eric. Just real quick, I do want to say a big, giant thank you and a big hug to every person who made the journey out to Galveston.
Oh, yeah. It was
to
great.
see us for the roadshow. The Rawfeed on the road. Basically, it's our podcast we do after the show on Thursdays. We just did that in front of a live audience, and somebody just texted, where can you hear that? You can hear it where you find your podcasts. You can download the KRBE app. Go to krbe.com. It's all over our digitals. Just follow KRBE on all things digital. And we were on the patio of Moody Gardens Hotel. It was a gorgeous weather day, not a cloud in the sky. It was so
beautiful.
pretty. We did the mystery
We lucked
box.
out on that day. This is like
So
the,
nice.
the best day of the year.
It really was so
was.
nice so far. Because if we'd done it last weekend in Galveston, it would have been freezing and windy.
Oh, remember that cold
It was
rain?
so cold last
Yeah.
weekend in Galveston. because Bret Michaels was here for Mardi Gras last weekend, and I was thinking, oh my God,
Bret Michaels from
does Bret
Poison?
Michaels realize how? I didn't know what the scoop was for that day, but I was in Galveston that day, not at Mardi Gras, and I was like, it's freezing.
Galveston's becoming like the place. 50 Cent was there this weekend.
Well, because it's Mardi Gras, they bring in the stars.
Yeah.
50 Cent
for
was
the
there
big
with
events.
Florida.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're the big events.
For
Tillman
Tillman's.
Fertitta.
On the yacht.
So it was very nice to see everybody. And I think the biggest, it's just nice to reinforce what your daily routine is like, because a lot of times I like to ask people, oh, what time do you get to catch us, or how long do you get to listen to us? And before I even asked any questions, so many people just told us on their own, you're like my antidepressant in the morning. I think that is the nicest compliment ever.
I know people are
that we are
having
their
bad days.
antidepressant, that we are like what keeps their day routine and norm.
I feel
And I
like
was
really
that's
people
great.
listen to the show more now compared to even 15 years ago because of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause we didn't have a podcast back in 2004.
No,
and
but if you
five
miss
or
something,
six.
now you can go back and you can binge it.
It's all right together. It's easy. It's fast.
You can catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many times, even people you knew, if you said, oh, I mentioned XYZ, and they're like, oh, man, I missed it, because I feel like it's just out there in space.
Like we just mentioned,
Well, now it's captured on podcast and it lives.
out there, they all knew my stage name back in Dallas.
Farm Boy.
No, I don't want. We don't have to say it again. I'm just.
Oh,
saying,
I think
they
we
knew
need
it.
to create a stager.
But the whole
It's
crowd
the
knew. Like,
Rule and
well,
Ryan show with Farm Boy.
no.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You watch
I mean,
what you
respect
wish
to
for.
farmers, but
Or
Yeah.
did you like Panther better?
I did like Panther. Panther was sexy.
The Rule and Ryan show with Panther.
Isn't
Look
Ellie
at
the
that
one?
sound effect you have.
Oh,
Used
wait,
to play it.
Yeah, let me do it again. Hang on a
Oh,
second.
yeah, because it was like a Jaguar sound
It's
or
the
something.
Rule and Ryan show with Panther.
Yeah, what is that animal, honestly?
I think it's a jaguar.
Is it?
A jaguar.
Jaguar. So thank you so much to everybody who made the trek out to Moody Gardens. It was excellent.
Go
And
out
it was
to-
fun to see you guys.
And next week, if you're, got your kids trying to think of stuff to do,
Spring break.
So much
drive
to
down
do.
there, make it
Yeah.
a weekend.
MoodyGardens.org. MoodyGardens.com. Hold on, let me get my little.
It's really so easy.
Cheat
You go
sheet
down,
notes that I made when I was there, because they have a great deal.
You go
going on for
down
March.
45, and then when you come in, I was thinking, oh, is there a side entrance? But no, you actually go all the way down to 61st.
Yeah, you have to go down.
And then
can't
you
just-
make a right.
No
and it
shortcut.
comes in the back way. Yeah. But it's still easily accessible.
So for the whole month of March, Moody Gardens Hotel is giving you a discounted rate. You can stay at the beautiful Moody Gardens Hotel for a discounted rate the whole month of March. You just enter the date. You go to moodygardens.com, enter the dates that you want to stay, and the promo code is KRBE 2025. You'll get 15% off the room rate.
Nice.
Okay, so go to moodygardens.com, KRBE 2025, get 15% off. So that was really
And
fantastic.
if you go to
and fun.
KRB.com, you can see the front page. You'll see the Rawfeed Roadshow. You can click right there and see all the
it's super easy
information.
to, click and listen to.
Exactly. All right. So the Oscars happened last night, and they usually keep to the same uniform formula. They have a host. Sometimes they didn't have a host because there was too much controversy. But Conan O'Brien did a great job. Then you've got the big events. They give two good ones out in the front. They do a bunch of stuff in the middle, maybe you don't care about, and then the big ones at the end.
Yep.
That's the same formula every time. Supporting actor is always the first one out of the gate. Kieran Culkin won that, and Kieran Culkin, I always think he's still the little brother from Father of the Bride. That
It's
says,
hard to
I don't think
believe.
you want Pitt on
You
the
gotta watch
wedding
Succession,
invitation."
man. That show is so good. I feel like he's not acting. After watching him
You think
in
he's real?
in the movie, what was the movie called? No Real Pain, or what was this? The one he won the Oscar
Oh,
for?
the one he won the Oscar for is
saw
a
that.
real pain.
Do you think he's tapping into
Jesse
his real
Eisenberg
emotions,
wrote.
his real
I realize
self?
these actors they just pretty much themselves most of the time. They're good
Wow.
ones, like Jack Nicholson and.
Well, Jack
Yeah.
Nicholson
De Niro.
always plays Jack Nicholson.
But he's so good.
Well, Sean Baker is a name I didn't know until last night. Sean Baker won 4 Oscars last night.
Who is he?
Yeah.
He is the writer, the editor, and the director of the movie Honora, which was the big shocker last night that Mikey Madison, his lead actress, won Best Actress over Demi Moore for The Substance. Substance did win Best Makeup and Hairstyling, so it walked away with something.
Did you see the skit at the beginning?
It was so gross.
It was so gross where Conan O'Brien's missing a shoe and he climbs back in her body.
Well, he's not coming out for his monologue, and Demi Moore's on the floor of the bathroom, and Conan O'Brien has to grow out of her back to host the Oscars.
Hey, Irvin, did you see
Just like
Honora?
The Substance.
And you come
Here,
over
step
real
up
quick.
to the mic real quick.
Irvin sees all the movies. He saw the Brutalist at the theater, and he said there was like almost 4 hours long.
Yeah. Oh, the Brutalist, yeah.
So let me ask you this, Irvin, as somebody who has watched this movie, because there's a story today
Which
about
one,
half
Nora,
of Americans did not watch any Best Picture nominees, but you've watched a lot of them.
Pretty much all of them, yeah.
Okay, so Honora, I feel like they did us a disservice because so many people did not know this movie and it
Yeah.
won so much. And they kept saying, oh, I'm an ally of the sex working industry. Can you explain how you are? Like, what is this? I don't understand. Is she a prostitute that marries the oligarch's kid, or is she a stripper? What is she?
So the plot of the movie is she is a dancer in a
Strip club.
In a strip
So
club.
she's a stripper.
Okay.
Yeah. Who gets hired to do like other gigs too.
Okay.
And then she meets this one fellow. I forget what his name is, but he's super rich, and he's just like this entitled boy, basically, who just throws his money wherever he wants.
Okay.
And so he gets infatuated by her.
And this is in
gives her-
Vegas?
This is in Vegas. No.
Or was it the Bronx?
Well, I mean, that's not really
Part of it
important.
does take
I saw
place in
something in
Vegas.
Vegas,
Part of
Well,
it
I
does
just
take
didn't know
place
because
in
you
Vegas.
think to yourself, oh, the people go to Vegas to throw money around, and then he fell in love with a stripper or something.
It's like,
but
you
it's
know-
not Vegas. It's New
like,
York.
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's like,
is it a dark
money
comedy?
can't buy happiness, but and then you realize why.
Okay,
Because
so
then you wake
he's
up.
the rich kid who throws his money around and he marries her, right?
He
and then
marries
his
her,
family's
yeah.
like, no way you
Okay,
married a stripper.
Irvin,
Yeah.
we had a caller say that it was like a dark comedy. Were there comedic elements in it?
Yeah,
or-
she's pretty funny.
Okay.
She's pretty snappy.
I've only seen her in Scream.
Yeah, she was good in Scream.
She's good in Scream, and then
Mikey Madison.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
In Hollywood with that
So would you
Quentin Tarantino.
would
That
you
was
say
such a good movie.
you
One
were
of the
not
killers.
shocked that Mikey Madison won that last night?
No, I really would have loved to see that go to Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people thought it was going to be hers.
She
But
was
Mikey Madison won the
incredible.
BAFTA. I didn't realize she won the BAFTA.
Yeah.
And that's another one of the big ones.
I
Because
think
Demi won the Golden Globe and she won the SAG, but she didn't win the BAFTA.
Yeah.
Man, the BAFTA one. I think Glenn Close, I got to look that up. Did Glenn Close also not win the BAFTA? Because she was the other one that got shot.
That's the English Academy Awards?
Yes.
You know what? One of my pet peeves about movies like these is, for example, Honora.
Uh-huh.
They don't ever, for movies that are critically acclaimed like this, they don't ever do wide releases. Like this movie was only in like
Limited
3
theaters.
theaters in
Yeah.
the city.
That is so annoying.
That is so annoying.
That is.
That
because
sucks.
Not anybody
but
see it. It was made for
know-
$6 million
Yeah.
bucks.
They know that people are going to come out to see the Avengers and they'll play it on like
2,000
15 different
screens.
screens in
Yeah.
one theater, and they know the little artsy movie is not going to draw in the masses. So
Yeah.
that's why they do limited releases.
Or go straight to streaming. Do it
And then
for
it
a
wins all
month.
the
Yeah.
awards.
Well, and then you have this great concept called Cinema Stream, where
Oh, yeah.
you actually go to a house
That
for
was good.
movies.
That was pretty funny.
And everyone sits together and laughs together
You can eat
and cries
popcorn and-
together.
Oh,
you can have
my.
this junk food snack for you. It's called a theater. And that was a skit that Conan Brad did last night. But yes, Sean Baker made the movie for $6 million in 45 days in New York. And it's
Great.
the movie's already made $41 million. That was the number
That's a
last night.
huge success.
But now I guess more
I
people
think
are
on
going to see
Hulu,
it.
like I said, a few weeks it's free.
oh, cool.
You can rent it for $4 right now. I'm like,
Yeah,
I told my wife I'm too cheap. I don't want to pay for that. She's like, what? You spent $12 on a lobster bisque last week, Eric.
Yeah, but lobster bisque you thought was going to be delicious in
And
your
it
tummy.
sucked. The one I had was not good.
Time for What's Going Down in H-Town on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
The priorities.
104.1 KRBE.
You know, you were just talking
Yes.
about Moody Gardens and how it's such an adventure. I think sometimes we forget we've got NASA here. So I have a friend, and she wants to go see NASA. What you do, go to spacecenterhouston.org, and we're going to go all out. You can get the VIP tour reservation, and that includes general admission to Space Center Houston. Before your tour and before and after your tour, you get to take time to explore the center, which is home to more than 400 space flight artifacts.
Is
and
this news or
exhibits.
just your itinerary?
I know,
what you're doing?
Ryan's is like,
Yeah,
hey,
no, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm going on a Carnival Cruise Jubilee on Saturday. If anyone's going to be there,
hey,
wanna
Brian,
hang
I'm
out with
going to
me
go
for a
to
week.
I'm just
Galveston.
reminding
Tell me where I
people
should eat.
Watch me
that-
drink for
I'm
7
reminding
days.
people that NASA still has got these amazing tours, these VIP tours.
Well, spring break is coming up. I'm sure they've probably got some
And if
spring
you
break
wanna
festivities.
and you want to take your kids there.
They don't have that pit anymore where you can shoot the kids with those little Nerf guns and stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I never knew that
when you
one.
came in the
Remember that
entrance?
to the right? You'd go in that thing, you could climb in there, and then they had the little Nerf guns. You could shoot the balls. They get
Never
rid of
saw
that.
that.
No?
I don't remember seeing that.
No.
It's to the
were you-
right.
Eric, you were there when I got to drive that Mars rover.
I missed that day.
Oh, you weren't there.
Yeah, I missed
Rula,
that.
you were there then, weren't you?
I was very pregnant, and I just remember how swollen my legs were. and I had to sit down.
They let me
the
drive this
worst.
thing.
I was very pregnant, and I remember my legs. My sister was like, "We have to leave.
Yeah.
You're about to have this baby."
Oh,
I
man.
was like, "Okay."
I'm having the baby in mission control.
That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, that'd be a cool place to have
Because they
a
did.
baby,
They took
but-
us into mission control.
Yeah, it was a very cool tour, but I was very
Which baby?
pregnant. Third. I believe it was my third. I'm pretty sure it was my third.
Could have called him Mars. It's the MJ.
That's MJ
cool.
going to Mars. All right, so coming up next, speaking of the weekend or things to do for the weekend cheers and jeers, the highs and the lows. I need to do a photo dump on my Instagram at Radio Rula because from Friday to Sunday, it was a wide difference between what I did Friday to what I did Sunday.
So we need listeners to call in right now. Why did you have a great weekend? Why did you have a bad weekend? I want to hear it all.
Wow, what a weekender.
Wow.
Oh, thank God the weekend's over. That was terrible. 833-390-KRBE. We'll talk to you next on The Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.